Hello and welcome to another live stream. I'm Luna
And I'm Nick.
and we are the Nomad Citello. And every month we help you prepare for what's to come next month on your trip to Venice. So, are we ready to see what's coming?
What's going on in August?
Yeah, let's see what's on the menu. Okay, so no more city tax. That's the good news. So,
Not at all in August?
no,
Okay.
it's done. It's finishing this month in July and no more city tax in August.
No
So,
more for the calendar year?
yeah,
Okay.
so we will talk about it next year when they reactivated it, but not for the 2025 season. Okay, we'll talk about Enjoy and Respect Venice, the campaign from the city about what rules to follow in Venice. We'll talk once again about the tap to pay system and the best fare system that is in place on all public transport in Venice. The film festival is coming next month in August, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about other events and then we will take your questions. Feel free to write your questions in the chat while we're talking, and we will do our best to answer all of your questions. Okay, so let's talk about Enjoy and Respect Venice. This is a campaign that has been going on for years now to inform tourists of what not to do and what to do in Venice. Some things are just common sense. Some other things are not so obvious. So let's see the most important parts of this campaign. First of all, you must walk on the right. When, especially when it's very crowded, the streets are very narrow, just keep walking on the right. Don't stop suddenly. Don't stand on bridges. Don't stand on walkways, on doorways. Just be aware and mindful of people around you and workers around you who have to carry things and walk by with carts full of stuff. So it's very complicated for people to make their way through the crowds in Venice.
And just think about the flow of traffic in a car.
Yeah,
You stay to the right. You do not stop in the middle of the road suddenly.
exactly.
Why would you ever do that?
Exactly. It's the same thing when you're walking around Venice. And don't walk bicycles. Bicycles are not allowed in the main historic city anywhere. Except for going to the from Piazzale Roma to the train station. So that's the only part of Venice where you can walk your bicycle. Other than that, do not use bicycles in Venice. There are bike parkings, bike stands in Piazzale Roma, so you have no excuse to be seen around with your bicycle, and it's also very inconvenient to to bike around Venice with all the bridges and stuff. So the second rule is don't have picnics. Don't eat on steps, on the banks of the canals, on bridges, anywhere other than the rest areas. You will find the map of the rest areas in the description of this video. There are not many, I'll admit to that, but that's no excuse to be picnicking anywhere in public spaces. For the same reason, do not camp in Venice. Do not put up a tent. Unfortunately, we have to say this because some people have put up tents randomly around Venice. Do not dive and do not swim in the waters. Uh, Especially because of your health. I mean, the water is very polluted. It's basically like walking on the street while cars are passing by. You wouldn't do that. So don't swim in the canals, but also don't dangle your feet. Don't find relief, so to speak, by washing with the canal water. It's really not recommendable. Other other sources of fresh water are the fountains that you can find around Venice. So you can use those to fill up your water bottle, to take some water to refresh yourself. Of course, there are public bathrooms. You will find the video about that in the description of this video. So there are other ways to find clean, safe water. And also don't walk around in swimwear because it's not appropriate. It's a regular city, it's not a beach town. So do not walk around in swimwear. Keep in mind that all of these rules, if you break any of these rules, you could be fined and you could be banned from the city, actually. So it's very serious, as you can imagine. Now, another rule is don't litter, don't vandalize with graffiti or padlocks, because this has been an ongoing problem of people using padlocks and on bridges because of a tradition that I'm afraid an Italian writer started. Bless his heart, and also don't feed birds. Birds are also not great. They carry diseases. They are a pest basically in Venice. So don't feed them. Especially do not get close or feed the seagulls. The seagulls are extremely dangerous and extremely smart in Venice. So be aware that if you're walking around Venice holding any kind of food, you could be attacked by seagulls. Literally, I've seen seagulls snatch sandwiches, fried fish, gelato from people walking on the street. So be very careful.
The people who are feeding the seagulls are training the seagulls to attack people.
Yeah,
It's just about
exactly.
doing that.
Exactly. And seagulls will go and open garbage bags to find food. So it's a real problem. If you're having a lunch or dinner at the restaurant, maybe choose a restaurant with a tent if you're sitting outside,
Or a
because
canopy.
a canopy, okay, a canopy. Or there are some restaurants that have a sort of kite looking scarecrow device that is meant to scare the seagulls away. So make sure that you are aware of the problem. Another big problem is counterfeit souvenirs. Now, you will see walking around Venice vendors with a blanket on the street selling bags, selling fashion objects. These are counterfeit, and you will be fined if you buy any of those. So make sure you don't buy counterfeit souvenirs. Go to regular shops, go to souvenir stands, but not just random people with a blanket on the side of the street. And if you're staying in an apartment, in a flat, in an Airbnb, be aware of the recycling rules. Recycling in Venice is very regulated, as anything in Venice is carried out on boats. So there are recycling boats that you will see every morning during the week around the city. And every apartment has a very clear set of rules as to where to bring your recycling, what to recycle, who to give your recycling to. So make sure you follow those rules very carefully. And this is the poster that summarizes all the rules and the possible fines for not respecting them. Okay, any questions about that?
I think that's clear.
All right, so let's go back to our TAPI, the machine to validate your tickets when using public transportation. I'll remind you, you will have to tap your ticket or card and hold it there for a second and a half. until you see the green flashing light that says your ticket is validated. Do not put your bags or backpacks or wallets, only the ticket or the card that you want to use. If you have a QR code ticket, press the QR code button and then show the QR code to the light and wait for the green light to validate your ticket. Every ticket is individual, so on every card you will have your ticket alone. You cannot validate a ticket for another person if you have the physical ticket.
Let me clarify a little bit here. You're talking about scanning a ticket for a bus, for the tram, or the
Yep.
Vaporetto.
Yes.
And I want to clarify this because we got a question came into the chat from Julie, and
Hi, Julie.
she's asking about the ferry. Now, I believe you're not looking for the word ferry. The word you're looking for is Vaporetto or water bus in her context.
Um,
What she's asking is she needs to go from the train station to
oh,
Piazza San Marco.
yes,
So how do I take the ferry? So don't use the word ferry, use the word water bus or Vaporetto.
because
And
there are ferries and they are different.
that's a different thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And take a look at our channel. There are more videos on this channel. We have a video specifically about the Vaporetto, about getting around. And it is,
Actually, about getting from the station to San
yeah,
Marco.
all those
That's right.
instructions are in that video. So we say water bus and think of it as water bus. It is a boat, but it acts like a bus. It goes through the city and hits several stops along the way.
Mhm.
What Luna is showing now with Tappy is the device for scanning your tickets.
Excellent.
There's also a video on our channel, or I think it's probably the same video, about the Vaporetto,
Yeah,
talks about how to buy your tickets. And there's some newer information with this Tappy tap
exactly.
station.
Because in our video, the validating system was the old machine, which is not too different from
Yeah.
Tappy, but yeah, there are some key differences.
And one more thing to say to Julie, she's saying that she believes she needs to cross the Grand Canal. And that's not quite accurate. She needs to go along the Grand
Yeah.
Canal. The Grand Canal snakes through the city. So when you get the Vaporetto, when you get the water bus just outside the train station, the route you'll take will go along the Grand Canal and will take you, past several stops. You get off
Mhm.
at whichever stop you need, but it will go all the way to Piazza San Marco.
Yeah.
Again, check out our video, but I believe that's Route 1 or Route 2 from the train
Mhm.
station would
Yeah,
go to San Marco.
exactly. Yeah. Okay, but what do you do if you have a credit card, phone, watch, or other device that you want to use to pay for your ticket?
So
You
instead
can.
of buying a ticket, tap straight with your
Yes,
phone.
you
Okay.
can do that. Now, I'll remind you that in this case, you will be charged a couple days later, so you won't see the charge on your device or credit card immediately. So that could make you a little nervous, understandably, but it's all part of the system. So same thing as using a physical ticket, scan it for a second and a half, and when you see the green light, your ticket is validated. Now, on the bus and tram, so on the route, like regular road means of transport, not the water means of transport, you have to tap in and tap out because the buses and trams go to different destinations that could have different fares, so you have to be charged for the correct fare. So before getting off the bus or tram, remember to tap one more time with the same device or card that you used to tap in, so that you will be charged the right fare. And here is exactly the instruction to use always the same card or device. And also make sure that your device is charged, the battery, I mean, is charged, because there is no excuse if your battery dies in case of inspection. So you can get a fine if your phone is dead at the moment of inspection, because sometimes you will have inspectors coming on the tram, the bus, even the water bus, and wanting to check your ticket. So in this case, if you're paying with a device or a card, just tap one more time on the machine that the inspector is using, and they will be able to see that you tapped uh, for the ticket. Yeah.
So here's a scenario. I have a credit card,
Yes.
but I've loaded that credit card into my iPhone, into the Apple
Mhm.
Wallet.
Yeah.
So when I tap with my phone, it's charging that credit card.
Yes.
If I tap in using my phone
Hmm.
and then the battery dies,
Hmm.
I still have the physical credit card. That is not going to be valid for
No.
tapping out. So you do, if you are using your phone with your credit card loaded in your phone to tap in, you've got to tap in with that phone and tap out with that phone
Yeah.
and be very careful about your battery.
Yeah. Exactly. Because
Your best case scenario that if your battery did die is if there's no inspector, the inspector never checks you, you
yeah.
get off of the Vaporetto and you get charged the day's maximum
Hmm.
because you never tapped out. That's the best case scenario, and
Yeah.
that's not great.
Yeah. But also, I remind you, you don't have to tap out on the Vaporetto.
Yes, I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
don't have to tap out on the water bus, the
No.
Vaporetto. You're talking about the
Bus
bus
and
and the
tram.
tram,
Yeah.
which is on routes to and from the mainland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And with this tap to pay system, you can pay for other passengers up to 5 people. So you can tap with the same device or card 5 times within 1 minute, and those people will have a valid ticket. Of course, they have to travel with you for the whole duration of the trip. Otherwise, uh, they wouldn't have the device that tapped for their ticket. Now, very recently, the best fare system has been implemented. So, if you're paying with a device or a card, you will be charged for the best fare for that day, which means if you're using multiple means of transportation, you're taking the water bus multiple times during the day, you don't have to worry because the system automatically will charge you for a day ticket or a 2 days ticket if that's the more convenient option.
So if you take a bus 5 times and pay 5 times, that would be more expensive than a day pass.
Yeah,
But if you're tapping in with your credit card, it will just charge you for a day pass. It
exactly.
will add it all
Yeah,
together for the day and just charge you the amount for the day pass.
exactly. All right. Let's talk about the Mostra del Cinema, the film festival in Venice. It's coming in August. So it's going to be from Wednesday, August 27th to Saturday, September 6th. It's a very famous film festival. Some past winners I remember are Nomadland, The Shape of Water. Um, I don't remember the movie with Emma Stone, but anyway.
Yeah, I haven't been thinking of it recently.
Yeah, so there are very successful movies being presented and premiered at the film festival in Venice. So, of course, there are Hollywood stars coming into town. There's a whole series of events is going to take place at Lido di Venezia. Now, here I conveniently have a map. So here you see the main historical town of Venice, and this long island you see on the right is the Lido. So you can get here by water bus, taking the Vaporetto, and you would arrive roughly here uh, on the north side of the island. And then this is a regular island. So there are cars, there are buses. You can take the bus to get to the Palazzo del Cinema where the mostra is. You can go to the beach. We will talk about that later. But yeah, you will have the Mostra del Cinema in the center of this island. Now, what can you do as a regular person who wants to enjoy Mostra del Cinema? Well, there are a few things. You can go and wait hours for the red carpet to hopefully get a look at the famous actors. You can explore where the actors are arriving because they are staying in Lido. So sometimes I would just look at the at the water in front of the Lido, and I would see some security guards, and that's the sign that some famous actor is arriving at Lido on a boat. So you can get a look at the famous actors, but you can also go and watch a movie, of course. So the films are going to be announced soon at the end of July. There will be single tickets on sale from mid-August to see the films in Lido at the actual festival. There are already subscriptions on sale on the official website that you see here and you will find in the description of the video. And there are reduced prices for under 26-year-olds and over 65-year-olds. And the subscriptions work in a way where you can buy a subscription for the whole day, for a specific day, or for a specific screen at a specific time for the whole duration of the festival. So let's say Sala Grande at 2 p.m. every day for the duration of the festival. So you will see different movies playing at that screen. But keep in mind that during the period of the Mostra del Cinema, the movies are being shown in Venice and in Mestre at the regular cinemas. So if you're just curious about the movies, you can look at the official programming at the cinemas in Mestre and Venice and check out where they are playing the movies in original language, of course. So yeah, that's all the options you have to enjoy the Mostra del Cinema this year. Questions about that?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's see what else you can do during August. Uh, Ferragosto, August 15th, is a big celebration in all of Italy. It's the festival of the Assunzione, which is a religious festival. And this is particularly important in Torcello, the little island outside of the main island of Venice, because the church in Torcello is dedicated to the Assunzione. So there will be special services and celebrations in Torcello. But in general, it's the month of August is the holiday month for Italians. Companies are closed, people go on holiday, so it's a sort of a paradox, but Venice could be quieter in August than in other months because Italians avoid the cities at all costs because it's too hot to stay in the city. So you might enjoy a quieter time in Venice compared to other months. Then check out if you see around, especially if you're staying also outside of Venice, if you see any sign for Sagra. The Sagre are the local fairs in Italy in general, and they offer food stands, um, raffles, games for children, live music. So it's a very enjoyable experience that we love to enjoy during the summer.
One note of clarification, what you have here on the slide, you say sagra, the
Mhm.
plural, sagra. But if somebody is looking around, they'll probably see a sign that says sagra that ends
Yeah,
in A. A single
yeah,
sagra would end in A, and that's probably the sign you'll see.
exactly. Um, and why not enjoy Venice by night? Because, of course, as I said, it's going to be very hot during the day, so it's lovely to take a stroll by night in Venice. And I would say it's actually safer than during the day. At least there are no pickpockets around. It's very quiet. It's extremely safe, even for women alone walking around at night. So you really should take advantage of visiting Venice by night if you get the chance. Another event that's happening at the Goldoni Theater until September 21st is TTZ, which curiously is the Venetian word for you are, titise. And it's a show that mixes traditional theater with acrobatics, special effects, so it sounds amazing. And you will find all the details in the description of this video. Okay. Do you have any questions? If so, leave them in the chat. One question that we heard lately was, where can we go to the beach? So back we are at Lido di Venezia, as we were talking about. As you can see here, there are beaches all along the the east side of the Lido. So you can get to the Lido by Vaporetto water bus, as we said. You can take the bus or just walk straight on from the Vaporetto station to the nearest beaches. So there are 3 beaches.
When you talk about the bus, you mean once you've arrived on Lido,
Yes,
there are buses there.
yes,
Clearly, you're not taking a bus from the main city to
exactly.
Lido.
Yeah. Once you arrive at the beaches, you will see there are 3 beaches, so-called, which are open to the public. You can just go there with your towel, enjoy a day on the beach, and not pay for anything. And then there are how could you say, we call them establishments, but they are basically businesses that rent out beach umbrellas and beach beds, and they are separated from the free beaches. So if you want some more comfort, you can check out their daily fees for enjoying a more private experience at the beach in Venice. The sea is much warmer than you would be used to, for example, in the US, but also in the UK. Really, uh, it's uh, it's much warmer, and it's all sandy. So you will see that the water is not that great. It's not that transparent, but it makes for a nice day at the beach, especially in this hot season.
Let me add a little something to that.
Yeah,
If you take the Vaporetto, and will people see in the video where my mouse cursor
I'm
went?
not sure.
Okay.
Probably.
Well, you see the routes that are arriving from the Vaporetto that land on the western side.
Mm,
If you step off of the Vaporetto and just walk straight across, you will just walk straight over to one of the free beaches.
mhm.
And this is, I don't know, 5-minute walk maybe. So
Well, more than that. Yeah,
something like, but I wouldn't bother with the
yeah,
bus. Just walk from the Vaporetto station straight forward to the other end and or to the other edge, and that's where you'll get the free beach. If you're
mhm,
going for some of these establishments where you would pay, where you would get a less crowded area and your
yeah,
own reserved seat, that's when you would take a bus, a
yeah,
little north or south,
mhm,
from that free beach.
yeah.
I don't know if we've got any recommendations for particular establishments.
Not really.
Okay, but if
Yeah.
you go a little north or south, I believe you'll start to see signs for them.
Yeah, and of course there are more expensive ones, more affordable ones, and there are the ones where the VIP from the Mostra del Cinema go. So
Are there bicycle rentals? Don't
I
remember.
think so.
That
Yeah.
would be a nice way to just kind of cruise north or south.
Hmm.
And what you would do is, once again, from the Vaporetto station, go straight towards the other side. And before you get to the beach, there is a main road that
Hmm.
goes north and south, and cruise up and down that
Yeah,
to find some of
and
the other areas.
interestingly, the island is very long, as you can see, and there is also a connection if you really like biking. You can get to the end of the island and then take a water bus that allows bikes on board to continue to the other islands. So that's also a nice alternative. So yeah, you have really a lot of choice here in terms of beaches on the Lido. And connected to that, are there cars and bicycles in Venice?
Yes, but no.
Exactly. So as we said, in the main on the main islands of Venice, in the historic downtown, no, there are no cars, there are no bicycles. Uh, Also, if you are a little familiar um, with the configuration of Venice, you know that there are bridges, a lot of bridges, and that's why cars and bicycles cannot physically go there.
Well, let me add some clarification
Yes.
because there is the one big main bridge from the mainland into Venice,
Mhm.
and you can drive across that main bridge and find parking.
Yes.
So you can go into the main city just as far as Piazzale Roma, where you would need to pay to park the car.
Pay a lot. Yeah.
Once you've paid to park your car, then no more car anywhere else in the rest of the city. And basically the same for bikes.
Exactly, except again for the Lido, which is a regular island other than getting there. So you get there by water bus, and then you have buses, cars, and bicycles as in any other place. Yeah. Okay. Are there any other questions in the chat?
I don't see any more. It was great that Julie had some stuff to contribute here because I think that was some important stuff to clarify for some people. Of
Absolutely.
course, if you are watching this later, not live, you can add more questions and we'll still see them and we can reply on the YouTube chat feed.
Absolutely. So enjoy your trip to Venice. Let us know if you have any other questions, and we'll see you next month with another live from Nomad Citello. Buon viaggio!
Ciao.